Coming to you from the Yard Dawgs Podcast studio. A show for the fans, by the fans. Talking all things Cleveland Browns. From our mic to your ears. With your hosts, Jason Hand, Mikey P, and Ian ColdTrain Cold Iron.
Are you ready for some football?
We're ready for some football, baby.
Yes, you are now in the yard. Welcome to another episode of the Yard Dawgs Podcast, a show for the fans, by the fans. I'm your host, Jason Hand. You can find me on Twitter at Browns Huddle. I am joined today. ColdTrain's a little late, but he's going to be here in just a couple of minutes. He's heading back from training camp, but we do have a special guest today. That's Eddie Mack, from one of the fellows from Network 216 and also host of the Petty Eddie podcast. You've been a guest on this show before, but I'd like to welcome Eddie to the show. Welcome.
Thank you for having me. And yeah, when you first did this, I barely knew who you were. I just was, connecting with Browns fans, and I remember you sent out the koozies.
Yes.
Still, if I was, drinking tonight, then I would have had that, on hand. But I am not drinking tonight, just water. So, but I remember that you always sent that to your guests, and I always thought that was really cool. I was like, man, that's awesome. And then, fast forward time, and here we are as network partners. Yeah.
I have like 150 of those old koozies, and they were this show used to be called the Browns Huddle podcast, which I had. You're right. I had koozies, and it was really cool because a koozie is really lightweight, and I could put it in an envelope and just put a single stamp on it and send it out. And like you, everybody just loved them. What I need to do is make up a new koozie with the Yard Dawgs podcast on it and start sending those out again and also using them, because who doesn't like a cold beer? I'm drinking one right now.
Excellent. I saw that before we went on air. And was that Busch Light?
This is Busch Light. Yeah, I'm a Busch Light guy.
I'm a Miller Lite guy. So
it's a Busch Light is a nice light beer. It goes down smooth. It doesn't have the next day effects like, hangovers and stuff like that. I mean, so I like Busch Light. My brother-in-law turned me on to them.
That's all right. I'm not the biggest fan, but sometimes at the local bar we go to, when the Miller Lights kick, we have to go to Busch Light because, I love Yingling, but it's too heavy. So I can't just sit there and just overly drink it because it just sits in my stomach. So, Busch Light's a suitable replacement for Miller Lite for me.
Yeah. And you sound like a beer drinker. It's situational, right? For me, it's like if I'm drinking for several hours with the boys, I go to the light beer. But if especially like around a pool party or at the beach. But if I'm only going to have like 5, like during dinner or something like that, I'll go to the IPA. But you can't have more than 5 of those.
No, depends on the IPA. You cannot, especially coming up soon. Pumpkin, one of my favorites. That I didn't know this. I was at a fantasy football draft last year, and I was texting my dad. I was like, "Oh, they have pumpkin here. It's all you can eat, and all you can drink and stuff." He's like, "Well, be careful with those. You got to drive home, and those are almost 9%." I was like, "Oh, wow! Thanks for telling me that." Because but yeah, I like IPA. They're hit and miss. Not all IPAs are good. Some of them are. Others I find really good. My dad always gets me a 6-pack for Christmas of different ones because he lives in Erie, PA, and they have different breweries up there. We don't have a brewery where I'm from, really. We have somewhat of a brewery, but nothing like that. So I'm an IPA guy. I do like drinking them. I like to drink them before darts when we are in league. Then I switch to Miller Lite and go from there.
What's the Pittsburgh beer? The Steel
Steel City.
Steel City beer. I took my wife to a baseball game in Pittsburgh, and we bought our baseball tickets for like $7 a piece. Mm-hmm. And they're serving these Steel City beers, and they're like $2 a beer or something. It was like draft night. I spent like $28, and we had a ball. And of course, we weren't driving; we were going to the local hotel. But I just remember, I don't really like a lot of things about Pittsburgh, but I do remember the Steel City beer wasn't bad.
See, I don't really like the beer in Pittsburgh. I like the city of Pittsburgh. I actually love the city of Pittsburgh. I go down there whenever I can. I was just down there a few weeks ago visiting a buddy. Some of our other buddies went down and visited him for the weekend. But I like it down there. I get why people don't. It's hell to travel through. It's even if you're the passenger, you're just like, oh my God, like, oh my, there's someone coming right beside. Oh my God, they just passed right in front of us. And like, they're awful drivers. I don't know how it is like in Virginia where you're at, but it's reckless down there. You have to like be on your toes. But I love the city of Pittsburgh, and I'm assuming you went to PNC Park.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a beautiful
Beautiful.
ballpark. One of the best.
Beautiful park.
I could go there all the time. If I lived closer to that, I would be there all the time. And like you said, $7 a ticket and sometimes a cheap beer. Yeah, that's
the way to go, man.
That's my idea of a good time.
What I liked about the park was not only the atmosphere, but looking at the outfield, you see the backdrop of the city of Pittsburgh. It doesn't even look real. It looks like a fake city, or it looks like a picture almost. But it's a beautiful town. But we obviously we don't like Pittsburgh, so we're gonna stop talking about them. Welcome to the show, Eddie. I see some comments rolling in. Josh Mansfield, howdy, Eddie. He says, "What's up, Eddie?" Bush and Miller Lite, you. He says. Brian Music, see you in the 216 soon. Jason, yes, I will be there tomorrow. Flight leaves tomorrow morning. Drew in Brick City's checking in. What's up, everybody? If you're watching this podcast on YouTube, we thank you very much for that. But if you're watching us on YouTube and you happen to look down, you're not subscribed yet to Network 216, please hit that subscribe button. It definitely helps out the show. And Eddie, the contest tomorrow is ending for the homage giveaway. Network 216 is going to give a Hall of Fame shirt, and to enter, that's all you have to do is follow on Twitter at network_216 and at homage. And also you have to be a subscriber to the Network 216 YouTube channel. The winner's being picked tomorrow.
Yeah,
it's a cool homage shirt, man. It's the Browns and the Jets. Homage they do a fantastic job on all their shirts, but this one in particular, I really liked. And I'm kind of upset that I didn't order it, being that I'll be there.
Oh, you might be able to get it. Who knows? You might be able to. I don't know. They're in Columbus. Never mind. You're going to Canton. But yeah, homage is great. I can't say enough good things about it. Every time I start my show, I don't even introduce the guest. I talk about homage first and then introduce the guest. Just great. And yeah, if you haven't entered, you still have time. I don't know what time they're doing the giveaway. I'm assuming probably afternoon, evening, when everyone's off work and stuff. But yeah, definitely go do that. If you aren't sure if you are entered, just DM the network, say, hey, here's my subscription to YouTube. And then you'll get entered in for that. Nick Carnes also doing a giveaway since training camp is back in Berea. He's doing a Nick Chubb jersey giveaway, so check that out too. Wow, which
Drew in Brick City just pointed out. Carnesy, Big Buck Carnesy's giveaway a Chubb's jersey, man. That's an expensive one there. Last I checked on jerseys, man, they're like $150, close to that. So that's a good one right there. What do you have to do to win that?
I believe you just have to like and retweet his tweet that talks about that. So yeah, go find Carnesy. I think it's like at Carnesy's 817. I probably butchered that. I'm sorry, Carnes. I'll get that.
Nick Carnes is such a good dude, man. He's always positive, always he's just always in a good mood, and he does great things for Twitter and for the Browns and Network 216. And this is just one example, giving away a Chubb jersey. Like, I think that's just fantastic.
Yeah, Carnesy's 817. Go follow him. Make sure to like that and retweet that, because he is giving away, and he does this now fairly frequently. Like, he'll give away. He gets excited about the Browns, which he should. And like you say, he's a great what's the word? Ambassador is the word. He's a great ambassador for the team, unofficial ambassador. Hopefully one day we get him to be an official ambassador for it, but he's always positive. No matter what, the team could be 0-5. He's going to find some positive, and that's what you got to love about him, because, not everyone is like that, as you know. Twitter is a strange place, and he gets attacked often, but he embraces it, because he likes when the Steeler fans and the Bengal fans and the Ravens fans and whoever else come at him. He's like, all right, cool. Like, come on, let's go. Go like and retweet the post that he has there. You can go find that on his page, and then he will be picking a winner 1 week from today.
Nice. Good job out of Carnesy there. Drew in Brick City is asking for your opinion, Eddie, on beardless Jason. I shaved my beard off last week, man. What do you think?
So it's strange for me, because I'm used to the beard, and I always comment on your beard when you send, like, the different times you and Mikey came out to games last year for Browns, and I believe you guys had the Guardians playoff games.
Mm-hmm.
It's strange to me. So when I first got on, like, I saw you and I was like, oh, hey, what's up? And it took me a second. I was like, wait a minute, something's different. And I forgot that you had said that you did that. And I was just like, I was like, oh.
It's probably coming back, Drew and Brick City. It's probably coming back. I'm just taking a little break, just switching things up a little bit. But, Eddie, we've been beard buddies, in Network 216. Are we the only ones? Let's see. Mikey P's got a beard.
I don't know if Zach can grow one.
Jacob Roach, he has a beard. Right? He's got a little beard going.
Zach and Zach don't. I don't think Tyler does. Jack doesn't. We're
the ones, dude. So maybe I got to roll that back.
Absolutely. I usually let mine grow too long, but it's summer, so it gets trimmed more frequently in the summer. But once it's fall and winter, it'll be pretty hefty.
Yeah. Drew and Brick City, I went 8-inch beard to a 2-inch beard for the summer. Yeah, I bet that felt weird. I've done that before. It's like I've had the long beard and then you trim it down and it almost feels like you're close shaven. So you have a feeling of maybe I'll just do it all the way and just shave it all off. So
I will never do that which I would never put my beard on the line in the bet. I've done other things, but I will never put my beard on the line. That is like part of who I am. I've had a beard since I guess early college. I used to have a goatee or just the chin when I was not even the full goatee, just on the chin when I was in high school. So the beard's always staying with me. Like more power to anyone who does that, but I can't shave. I wouldn't look right.
Yeah. Well, we talked about homage, guys. Eddie, you're wearing your new dog logo shirt. Show the camera that shirt. That is just fantastic. I actually own that shirt as well. That's a good shirt, man. I like that shirt.
Whoever designed it, I'm just so happy that it was like a fan that was able to design it, and that's it. I think I have that one too. I don't know if I have that one. I definitely have the orange hoodie of that you have on.
That's a great hoodie. That's a great.
All of the things I can't say enough. I can't talk good or like even better about homage than I already do because it's just so great. They're quick with their deliveries and shipments. The shirts are super comfortable, the most comfortable shirts I've ever worn. They're loose but not loose fitting. Like it's breathable. Just great. And then the new dog logo, they had that up within a week or two.
Super quick. Like we all had a feeling it was gonna come, and then when it did, you're like, oh, I got to get that.
Yeah, I had to have it. Luckily, we had some gift cards given to us, so I used that on this and a Joe Thomas shirt for Browns Wise, and an Ohio State shirt and a Randy Moss shirt, the Straight Cash homie. So they're always doing deals. In fact, tonight it's 20 up until midnight. It's 20% off Ohio. So Ohio State, Cleveland Browns, Cincinnati Bengals. If you are a fan of any of those teams, go get 20% off over there because I'm telling you, you will not want to miss out. And especially the hoodies. It's about to be hoodie season. I'm excited for that. And then later on, if you get too cold, they have the jackets. I know you have the satin one, right?
I do.
Yeah, I have the orange one. I think you and your family all have them, right? That's what you got for Christmas one year for everyone.
Mm-hmm. The other ones are silver and black, or gold and black.
Okay.
Yellow and black. You know the team I'm talking about. It disgusts me to even say that.
I don't want to say their name.
Yeah.
I said it once already.
But check out Homage, guys. Obviously, they're our biggest sponsor here at Network 216. If you want to find the link, go to Twitter, search Yard Dawgs Pod. You can find them, our Twitter link at Yard Dawgs Pod, or go to Network_216 to find the link for Homage for all the discounts. You won't be mad you did it, and it doesn't break the bank. That's what I like about it. It's like a good quality clothes, officially licensed by the NFL. They don't shrink. Like that's one of the things. That's my pet peeve when you buy a shirt and you love it, and then you throw it in the washer and dryer, and then it doesn't fit anymore, and you're like, oh, that was fun. with Homage, I have yet to have that happen. They always fit just beautifully, just like brand new. So check that out, everybody. Let's get into some news and notes. ColdTrain, just a reminder, he is on his way. He was at training camp today in Berea for the first training camp in Berea, open to the public. He was there. He's on his way back, and once he does that, he will be on the show any minute now. I would say between now and 15 minutes, he will be on the show, and we're excited to have him on so that way he can give his takes on Browns practice today. While we're waiting for that, Eddie, we were talking pre-show. The Browns put on social a couple days ago a picture of the Brownie elf, and it said something like, who's going to tell them this was only a year contract or something like that? Well, they're going to change the midfield logo. And I don't know about your timeline, Eddie, but mine went crazy. Like, a lot of people didn't want the new dog logo from what I read. Yeah, I don't know what yours look like. A lot of people weren't a fan of that. A lot of people went to bat. It was kind of mixed on the Brownie elf, but the options I heard was either the Browns helmet, the Brownie elf. Well, that's going away. The new dog logo, and then Jim Brown was in that, kind of remembering Jim Brown. So wanted to get your thoughts on that. What do you think about what the Browns might do in that area?
Well, we actually have a chance to decide that again, like last year with this logo of the dog. Everyone went to vote on that. The Browns have a poll out again. You can go check out their social media. Click the link and go to the Browns app or clevelandbrowns.com. The elf might come back because the elf is one of 4 options. The elf, the new dog logo, the helmet, and then nothing. Just an orange line at midfield. So I don't know how well you can see this, people. Probably not because it's glaring. But you can go to Cleveland Browns on Twitter, at Browns, and you can vote for this. I forget when the vote goes on. I want the helmet. If it's not the helmet, just give me nothing. Tyler Johnson, who also a member of this network, and many, many others, tweeted out that it should be a 32 with the Browns helmet, and you said something about that pre-show. I would love that. I just don't see it as an option. They might do something on the field for him at the 32-yard lines. We'll wait and see for that. But yeah, you can go vote. I don't want the dog. I love the new dog logo. Don't get me wrong. As Carnes calls it, the Darth dog. Looks like Darth Vader a little bit. I love that, but I don't want that at midfield. I want either the helmet, because we don't have a logo on the helmet, and that's just fitting for us, or nothing at all. But I have a feeling that we're going to get the dog. You
do. See, and comment on this. You guys are doing a great job of commenting, but comment what you want to see on the 50-yard line. My feeling is it's going to be the helmet. And the reason why I think that is because everybody loves the helmet. Who doesn't love the Browns helmet? And they're doing the throwback week 2, Monday night in Pittsburgh. That doesn't really matter for what we're talking about now. But then week 6 against San Fran, week 17 against the Jets, they would switch it up. Instead of the orange, I could see them doing the white helmet in the center. I think that would be cool. So I would personally like to see the orange helmet in the center, and then pay respects to Jim Brown on the 30-yard line. You'd even mentioned sometimes teams have done tributes on the side of outside the field, because Jim Brown's number is 32. So you were saying that maybe they could do something outside on the sideline. Is that what you were saying?
Yeah, that's where I was getting at. Like not necessarily on the white of the sideline, but right after that. Right beside, I can see them doing something, because it's just hard to put something on a 32-yard line, like on each 32-yard line, because it's just one little sliver of thing, and that's going to cover majority of it. And I don't know what the rules and regulations are with that, where how much stuff can be covered, like the yardage lines and stuff. So I think they could do something on the side. What would be cool if they put like his number on each side of the like the walls, like where fans sit and stuff, like behind the benches and stuff. That'd be cool. But we'll wait and see. Obviously, they're going to do something. I don't know what they're going to do, but they're obviously going to honor him. One of the biggest, Cleveland legends, not just Browns, but Cleveland in general legends there ever has been. He was regarded highly by the city and by obviously the Cleveland fan base. So I think they're going to do something with that. I would love, like Tyler Johnson put, 32 in the middle of the field with the helmet at the bottom of it. That would be awesome to me. And like you said, switch that up to white during the games. We go back to the
whiteout.
And I hope what they do is give like fans, not necessarily give them, that's a little bit greedy, but if they could give fans in everywhere a white t-shirt to wear when that happens, and then, it'd be a complete whiteout, sort of like, unfortunately, I have to say this, but like what Penn State does, they always white out their stadium for different games. That's cool to me. I love that type of stuff. Like, they do it I know at the Cavs games, they give out playoff shirts and stuff like that. I would love for them to do that just for the white the white uniforms on. It doesn't have to be every game. That's crazy.
It could just be like they have a promo where you wear your white Browns jersey and get a gift inside the stadium. So it would promote, wearing your white Browns jersey. I mean, I think I have a couple, don't you? I mean, we all have white Browns jerseys.
I don't get white jerseys. I cannot do
no. Not a fan. Yeah.
I've had one white jersey in my life. I have no idea what even happened to it. It was who was that? Some baseball jersey. I forget who it was, but I've only had one white one. I can't do white. The only Browns jersey I have right now actually is Denzel Ward. I do have Baker Mayfield, but he's on the team. But Denzel Ward, I have a brown Denzel Ward jersey, but I cannot do white. I will get stuff all over that, and I'll be mad at myself for staining it. And if they wore white to the thing, hey, here's a gift. Like, it could be a koozie or I think I went a few years the Myles Garrett helmet game. They gave away like dog noses. You can put it like around your own nose and stuff, and something else.
Yeah.
But yeah, that would be cool. I hope they do that. We'll see. I hope I can make a few games this year. I think you're going to a few, you said, this year. I know you're going Thursday, obviously not to Cleveland Brown Stadium, but
yeah, I'm definitely going to plan on a Browns game. I'm almost thinking week 6 against the 49ers. I just think that would be a great game. Kyle Shanahan returns. I mean, the 49ers are going to be legit this year. We all think the Browns are going to be legit. It's the whiteout game. Everything points to that. It's not going to be too cold. I think it's October 15th. So the weather's still going to be great. So I'm thinking maybe week 6 against the 49ers.
Yeah, I want to go to any game I can. I would like to go to the home opener. That'd be great. The season opener. I've looked at tickets, and some of them, nope, not paying that. I'll watch from home if that's the case. I would love to go to the Titans game with a couple of my buddies are Titans fans. I would love to go over there with them and watch that. I wouldn't mind going to see the 49ers. I definitely want to go to the Pittsburgh game in November. I believe it's November 19th, the week before Thanksgiving. I want to go to that one. I just like going to Brown Steelers games. I've been to a few of them. I've only been there one time when the Browns have won against the Steelers. So hopefully that changes, because I was there 2 years ago on Halloween, and that was embarrassing.
Yeah. I have not had very good experiences in Pittsburgh when it comes to the Browns playing them. So hopefully that, like you said, hopefully that changes. All right, let's get into this. Training camp started today. The Browns had a new signing. They signed cornerback Lorenzo Burns. He spent a couple of years with the Birmingham Stallions. He went undrafted. He spent a little time with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Not a real big name. He's very low on the depth chart. He's probably not going to make the team. But we did have training camp today in Berea. It was the first practice. We saw videos coming across our timelines in Twitter. We saw Alex Van Pelt. We saw Schwartz. We saw Stefanski. It's really cool that we're at this point of the season. I mean, the Hall of Fame is this week, the Hall of Fame game. We know it's preseason, but it's still football. Give us your thoughts on, I think this was day 9 of training camp. Give us your thoughts on the camp that happened today in Berea.
I've liked what I've seen so far down in West Virginia, and then today I was real excited to see the fans turn out. And then Jack told us in the group chat today that the line to get into training camp in Berea was 3 blocks long, and that's awesome. And then Boba Ventrone, the special teams coordinator, he was talking to the media today too, and he's like, when I was driving in today, I thought I was late because he's like, did I miss an email? We're starting practice early because there's fans everywhere, and he was excited for their energy. I know we were well represented as a network in there today. I know Carnes was there, Jack was there, ColdTrain was there. I don't know if anyone else was there. I know those 3 for sure. But all the things.
All you need, man.
Yeah, that is all you need. Yeah, as long as one of us is present for any of these things, it's a win for all of us. But Carnes had a couple of different pictures and tweets he tweeted out. I didn't see the others do it, but that doesn't mean they didn't. I just didn't see it if they did. I'm excited to see what the offense is going to do. So far, I believe it was Tyler Johnson that tweeted a video from someone today that Elijah Moore was in the backfield and they did an option to him. And I was just like, I read his tweet and it said something like, I'm absolutely in love with this or something to that effect. And I looked at the video a couple more times and I was like, oh my goodness, like we're here, like, and we get to finally see what we've all been alluding to, like, hey, this could happen. So I'm excited for that. I guess Myles Garrett was on fire today. If he wanted to have a sack every time, he would have. But obviously, that's not going against double and triple teams and getting the running back stay in the block. They're running certain things on purpose. But so far, so good. The receivers have looked good. Watson has looked real good. I know we're just in first day in pads today and whatnot, and it's been mostly shorts and t-shirts. But I'm excited, and this is the time of year. No matter who you're a fan of, every fan in the NFL has the optimism and hope that, hey, this is our year. We're going to the Super Bowl. We're going back to the Super Bowl, whatever it is. And we're here. We finally have it. And like 2 days from now, we get to watch Browns football. It's not going to be anything meaningful for, wins and losses, but it's going to be meaningful for the young guys to play. And we're going to see it most, if not all of the rookies, depending on availability, a lot of younger guys fighting for roster spot. That's what I don't usually like preseason, but the past couple of years, I've gotten into it a little bit more just to see what some of these younger guys are like. 'Cause I don't know much about some of these guys, and I'm just like, okay. Like the draft, I'm not a big draft guy, so I rely on other people for that information. Cedric Tillman had a great catch today, so I'm excited to see what he can do. Dorian Thompson-Robinson, he's going to be the second half quarterback this week. So I'm excited for that. So a lot of good is happening right now. And knock on wood, there's no injuries.
Yeah, you're right. Thursday is a preseason game. And as a fan, you can really get caught up in a mindset of, I know for me, I've tuned into preseason games before, and I'm excited, like, oh man, preseason. But then it kicks off. Then the kickoff happens, and you start watching this football, and you're like, who the hell is that? Or you're like going on the internet, who's number 80, whatever. So might not be a big deal for fans, but like you alluded to, these players, that are fourth, fifth in the depth chart, this might be their only shot. And you're talking about guys that have played football their whole entire career, like since Pop Warner, and they might only have 2 or 3 games left in their entire career, and they're going to have to go get a job selling insurance or something like that. So for these guys, it's a big deal. And I do notice, right on time, I see ColdTrain is in the green room, so I'm going to go ahead and bring him in. ColdTrain was at Browns training camp today, just got back, so I'm really interested to see his insight on today's camp and what he saw. Let's go ahead and bring him in the yard right now.
What up, boys?
What's up, ColdTrain?
Same old. How y'all doing, man?
We are fantastic, bro. You came in at the exact right time. We actually just got into Browns training camp. We were giving our initial thoughts, and we've been waiting for you, man, because you were at training camp, and this is fresh on your mind. I'm sure you saw the sights, you saw the plays. You tell us about what you saw today.
Just some cool stuff, man. Nice to see you, Petty Eddie. Glad to see you on the show, man. Come by anytime, brother. Always room for you. Always room for you on this show, man. But anyways, yeah, it was a good time, man. Went with my wife and, of course, Brian Music. Got some good B-Day. I don't know if you guys knew my birthday is today, so I got some B-Day gifts from him. Appreciate that.
I know your birthday today.
Yeah, big 3-7. I always go on my birthday to training camp, and like I said, this training camp was a pretty special one. It was nice seeing Brian as usual. We met at our little pregame spot we always meet at, but saw some cool stuff today, guys. I kind of knew going into this practice we wouldn't see as much Deshaun as we wanted to, just because of obviously you got the Hall of Fame game around the corner. It'd be a lot of backups. Surprising to see. I was surprised to see that Dobbs isn't even going to play at all, but I understand everyone's kind of, for that type of game, it's an extra game. No need to put the guys in the ringer. But saw some plays at Peoples-Jones, saw that catch from Peoples-Jones live and in person. Saw that one by Tillman where basically his back hit the field. I mean, that's the kind of stuff, man, that gets you excited as a fan, because you see it in practice and that's one thing, but to see it in front of your face and seeing the crowd kind of get up for that kind of stuff. Like what I saw from DTR, very excited to see him Thursday. Really excited to see him in action and game action. But saw some, I always like to see the defensive guys. Obviously, that's why I go. Tomlinson's, as advertised, just a big fat force. I mean, just a big boy. got some clips of him. I'll post on my Twitter later. Just some defensive line battles, stuff like that. Miles is who he is. Him and Smith, what's crazy together in person, guys, they look like crash and bash. I mean, these dudes look like the same guy. And I said that to my wife even on TV, just, looking at them at training camp, from the video version of it. And those two guys, I tell you, it's like basically having two Myles Garretts, man, but it's a completely different player in Zadarius Smith. So that one's going to be fun, y'all. Like that just seeing those two dudes today and kind of, you can tell the rapport they have together, and they're kind of obviously getting closer, and they're friends. It was definitely, just wild to see and really cool to see. But like I said, obviously there was a couple plays from Mon that I saw. Some people said Watson did bad. I mean, again, I didn't really look at it more that Deshaun was as bad as the offense. The offense just had some sputter moments for sure. Saw a nice throw from him to Cooper. That was pretty cool to watch. But like I said, Watson's Watson. We know we're going to get out of him. To me, I looked at this practice and I left. This was more for the guys playing Thursday. They're trying to get ready, and a lot of plays were dedicated to those guys versus it was like a let's be scared because Watson threw a pick today, stuff like that. But definitely cool. I left with my wife actually got Martin Emerson's autograph, so that's cool. Marty. Didn't have his autograph before, so we got his.
Who is that?
Boys, Martin Emerson.
Okay, gotcha. Yep.
23. So I got him all nice. And, I'll be honest, boys, I've been going to that camp for probably, maybe 15 years now in a row. I go every year. This is the first time I came home empty-handed with an autograph, man. It looks like they're really catering the camp to the kids. I know Stefanski's line. It was only 12 and under. That's great. I understand about the kids aspect of it. I get all that. I think they're worried about eBay sellers, stuff like that. Worried about people kind of pawning off the autographs. But I can't lie to you boys. I was a little bit disappointed in leaving just because, out of, what is it? And I know you would know this stat, Eddie. How many players are actually on, I know it's not 52. How many players are actually at practice today total? Like how many are like I know that's probably a trivia question for you.
There's like 90.
Isn't it more like 80?
There's 90 on the roster. I think we actually have an open roster. Well, I don't know if we have one or two roster spots coming in this, but we signed someone this morning, as Jason talked about earlier. But usually they practice probably. I'm sure not everyone practice. Some guys get rest days. Some guys, are coming back from injury. So I'd say probably 75, 80 probably practice today, or we're at least there in attendance probably, give or take.
So just, I don't want to be a negative Nancy to you guys today. I promised myself my birthday I wouldn't be too disappointed. But out of the number you just said, Eddie, it was kind of surprising to me for the first practice. There's only 8 open to the public. And if I would add them up, I'll tell you who signed today or who's willing to sign for autographs. Stefanski, Watson signed for maybe Stefanski signed for any kid. If you had any kid today, you got an autograph for Stefanski, which is good of him. Good family man. Watson signed for about 10 kids. He handpicked maybe a handful each, and then he went in. The other side, that side was a backup lineman. I don't even know his name. I can't even tell you his name. I have no idea who he was. A backup lineman, and then Dobbs. So those 4 guys were on that side. My wife was on the other side. And if you've ever been, it's kind of like a big rectangle where they all sign autographs at the end. And on her side was Ward, Emerson, a backup. I want to say maybe it was a backup corner. I can't think of his name right now, but I know he might not make the team. And that's probably why I don't know his name. But
was it Lorenzo Burns, was it?
No. There might have been one other that I'm missing, but let's be real. You're talking about 5 to 6 people, that took the time. Now, hats off to Emerson and Ward. They actually stayed the most out of all those players. But out of that many players in the roster, for me as a fan, I guess it just kind of winded my sails a little bit where it's like, it's not even about me. Take me out of it. Miles, Zadarius Smith, Tomlinson, any of them newer guys, whatever. I know sometimes there's rules of this stuff where like only certain players sign on what day, whatnot. There's stuff in their contracts. There's a lot of stuff that goes into it, fellas. So I don't want to rip people if they don't deserve to be ripped. But as a fan, and even as a kid, a little kid in me as a fan, I was disappointed at the less amount of. That's the first time I ever went to a camp where there was literally maybe a handful of people that signed. They signed for 5 minutes and they went in. Typically, you get like even going back to Joe Thomas days, you'd have 20, 25 players all around that rectangle signing for whoever, whenever. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on in Berea. I think definitely there's been, like I said, there's clearly they're trying to keep adults out of the autograph session stuff, but something's going down, dude. Just because whether it's NFL made a new rule or whatever, because I'm telling you guys, it was something different. I left that practice stage and again, I don't go for the autographs, but a lot of fans do. A lot of kids do. You know, that's kind of their glory to it. But yeah, like I said, from firsthand, and again, I would just love to know why, or if there was an answer why. Just very shocked at just the handful of people that signed today. Usually, especially for the first practice, you'll get 20 to 30 players. Maybe they're not, most might not make the team, but you're going to get a lot of those guys. So I don't know, guy. I guess I'll just throw it to you guys. What are your thoughts on just, do you think it's an NFL letter they got, or is it just a Browns decision? Like, what do you guys think happened? What happened to me today?
I think for me, I don't know what happened. I mean, maybe it's a safety thing. I mean, it could be that. But for me, I would enjoy seeing just a kid getting an autograph. And the reason why I would enjoy seeing that is because you're seeing your football team, your football players up close and personal. Like you had mentioned how big Myles Garrett and Zadarius Smith are. The only reason why you said that is because you saw them up close. And that's what I like. Like, I'm a big golf fan. I've always wanted to see Tiger Woods nail a driver when I'm 10 feet away. I've seen him on TV do it 1,000 times, but I've never seen him up close and personal. That's what I would like to see in training camp. So the idea that not the whole team goes and signs autograph would be disappointing. You know, you go to training camp, you want to see the practice and the drills, but there's probably only so much that you can really focus on because your eyes are really going everywhere. So part of the training camp experience would be the chance of meeting a player or just seeing a player up close, even if he's signing something for a kid that's 5 feet away from you. That's my opinion. It could be a safety thing though, man. It really could be. I don't know. What are your thoughts, Eddie?
Yeah, so I've only been to one training camp ever in my life, and it was 4 years. Yeah, 4 years ago, the year we got Odell. And you just said that Myles Garrett and Zadarius Smith are big boy. I saw Myles Garrett. He was probably like 10, 15 feet away from me there, about doing the drills or whatever. And I just looked over and I was like, holy hell, like that dude is like massive. Like obviously you see Myles Garrett on TV, he's a massive individual. But when you get to see him and just like, whoa, like that dude is really massive. As for the autographs, it's probably just a hit and miss thing. It could be different this week because it's game week.
Yeah, I think so too.
They might go to different film room sessions after practice. I don't know what they do after practice or when they do their film and so I don't know anything like that. But it could be that. But yeah, the kids are what give the kids the autographs. If I can get an autograph, great. If not, I'm cool with it. Like I don't collect them, so like I'm not really big into autographs, so it's not my thing. I'd rather just get a picture and like, hey, I met so and so today.
Right.
But I think maybe it's just because it's game week. Because like you said, like the offense, you didn't see a lot of Deshaun Watson today. You saw a lot more of Kellen Mond and DTR. And from what I saw, they looked decent. They had some good glimpses of good play and stuff. So maybe it's that. I'm not sure, but I don't know if there's a rule because you see throughout the league all these players stop and sign autographs. Like the other day, it wasn't an autograph, but a kid had fallen at Ravens training camp, and Odell Beckham, his dad instincts kicked in, just picked the kid right up and sued them. Was like, "Hey, you all right?" Made sure he's feeling good. There was another video yesterday from their same camp that Lamar Jackson was going through, coming out and he's like giving high fives each side, and the little kid was like so excited, he's like kept looking at his hand like in shock, like, "Oh my God, Lamar Jackson!" But, like that's what it's about for me. Like when I went the first time, I had no idea what to expect, and I was shocked myself. But it's probably because it's game week a little bit. It's cool that Stefanski took a few minutes and signed some autographs, and especially, for the kids, those kids are going to love that forever. But that's the only thing I can think of. It's game week. So, normally we wouldn't even be in this position. We'd have to wait another week for a game. So maybe it's that, but I don't think it has anything. Well, I don't know. I don't think it has anything to do with the NFL, but it could. It could be a safety thing. They could have realized that, like you said, eBay guys. People love getting autographs from people, especially at the airport, 3 a.m. Hey, here's 5 things. Can you sign it for me?
Yeah.
Like, I'm just trying to get to my flight or get home. Like, get away from me. Like, these guys are practicing, and they love the fans too. And I'm glad that Emerson signed autographs, and your wife got one, and Moore was over there and stuff. But as far as I'm not sure how the autograph thing works, because it might just be depending on the player. Some players don't like being around anyone that's not the team. So
maybe they draw names out of a hat in the locker room, like, hey, these 5 players are signing autographs today, and they
I would love to know, man. I think that would be I would love to know that information for real. But and I understand too, guys. Remember last year on my birthday, I'm sure you guys remember my Twitter post. I had Deshaun blow up actually to Ian on a helmet. I had Peoples Jones sign that. I had Cade York sign that. I mean, there was good 5 superstars. And so I think I told my wife on the way home, like, you don't really ever beat that. Like, you can't go – I couldn't go into training camp today like, I'm going to get 5 stars. Like, that was just a great day. I got to hang my hat up, as you say, Eddie, just be happy, be happy, be thankful for what you have. But I'm with you guys, man. I'm glad they're doing it for the kids. It's just some guys I saw that looked like eBay people. They're also handing off stuff to their kid to get. So there's a lot of things that it's like this debate could go 3-4 different ways to where I understand. Okay, maybe they're keeping the eBay people out, but then they're going to use their kids anyways. I mean, a lot of those guys are dads anyways. So they're going to use their kids to get it. But anyways, autographs aside, I always tell my wife it's a bonus. It's a gift if you get one. I don't go into it expecting it, but it is pretty cool. Like I said, to kind of, like you said, get a selfie with the stars, stuff like I ended up getting a selfie one year with Tyrod Taylor, most humble, nicest dude you'll ever meet. That's what I think training camp's for. Those type of opportunities. Just when you're sitting 80 rows up from the field at the games on Sunday, you're not going to be able to talk to Martin Emerson and get an autograph and a mini helmet. It's not possible. So, like I said, it was a good day. But like I said, I just based off of last year's production, I think that's what really just hit me home. Where I'm just like, damn, I went from the stars to Martin M. But that's okay, guys. Like I said, I'm happy, I'm thankful, and I think Emerson, with the right, tutelage and definitely more game experience this year, I think that could be a great. I mean, what do you guys? I think that could be a great autograph moving forward. I think that guy could actually be somebody for our team. So I'm excited for it, man. Hey, real quick though, I want to end with this, and I swear I'll stop talking. Brian Music hits home again with a great birthday gift at the bar before we went to training camp. I don't know where he got this. Oh, Cleveland Clothing Company on East 4th. Okay. I know Mikey P would love this. Actually, you probably will too, Jason. Why is Daddy sad on Sunday? A coloring book depicting the most disappointing moments in Cleveland sports. So literally, guys, you have a coloring book here for my daughter. Obviously she's only 16 months now, but you got the catch in here, the 30-year slump. I know there's even stuff with the Cavs in here. The decisions in here, 1950 NFL championship, or no, those are the triumphs. I'm sorry. The collapse. So there is good stuff in here. But 2007 ALCS, Ricky Davis triple-double, Dwayne Rudd helmet toss. A lot of good stuff in here. Thank you, Brian, for the gift. It's actually like almost like a dual gift because I can give this to my daughter. She can have fun with it. And then obviously like the title. Hopefully then, just like Mikey's daughters already understand with him, and maybe yours do too, Jason, why is Daddy always sad on Sundays?
It's a learning tool. It's to teach them the history of Cleveland sports, and then they would have a better understanding of why we're in such a bad mood all the time.
Yeah, that's true. For sure. Because they got it all in here.
Training fans, I have 2 questions for you since you were there live today.
All right.
Number one, I think I saw Cade York did pretty good. He looked good. Like, were you able to see him at different times kick the ball?
Yeah, he looked confident. I probably saw maybe a 30, 40, 50-yarder right in front of me.
Okay.
He looked good. He looked composed. He looked swagged out. My buddy and me were talking about him, and then I kind of made a joke where I just said, maybe Cade York's confidence was kind of shaken back last year. And I said, well, my confidence would be too if Stefanski goes for it on 4th down every time. That was my joke. I think this year, I don't think Stefanski will be so much fourth down savvy. So I really would like to see the kid get some opportunities. But from what I saw, to answer your question properly, Eddie, he looked very good. He didn't miss anything in front of me.
I don't think he missed it all. I think they said he went 7 for 7 in the two different 2-minute drills, or whatever. I think he made 40 plus yarders to force overtime. Force overtime, whatever in that situation.
You know who else looked good too, Eddie? Not trying to cut you off. The punter.
That's good.
Our punter's fucking good, dude. Our punter's good, guys.
His last name.
I can't tell you either, man. But I'll just tell you, he looked good today.
Because there was a ball he posted on Instagram, I think, a video. He bombed this ball, and obviously, it's not in-game situation, but just the fact that he could bomb it that far, I was just like, I've seen him kick far last. I thought he was a great punter for us last year, one of our better pickups last year. But seeing this, I was like, oh man, maybe he got stronger this year. That's okay. Okay, so the times where have to punt, that's awesome. So I'm glad to hear that. The kicking is good. My second question for you: did you check out the dogs?
The adopted puppies.
Yeah,
I do every year, of course.
Okay, excellent.
They got 5-6 different puppies there, 5-6 different kinds of dog, I would say. But yeah, every year I go. I have to fight my wife off from wanting one of them, taking them home. We have 2 Frenchies ourselves, so we already have a dog house, plenty of dog house to go around over here. And with Kaya, that's like I always tell Jason, the guys on this podcast, it's a family of 5, man, when you get 2 dogs. But yes, I did check that out. They have a lot of cool stuff, man, that I just, guys, I'll end it with this. You'd be surprised how many Browns fans I talked to, and they said, even Eddie, you said you've been to one 4 years ago. It's not, I don't think it's that they don't want to go. It's just you'd be surprised how many Browns fans I talked to where they've never been to a training camp. They don't know what it is. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's not, maybe it's not advertised enough. I'm not sure what, or maybe they just live too far. I think there could be a lot of different things, but I talked to a lot of Browns fans, and I tell you, it's one of those things, you just got to experience it for yourself, man. Even talking about what you said, Eddie, about seeing the life sizes of some of these players, Tomlinson, Garrett, Smith of the league. I'll end with this, to fans watching today. I hope everyone gets out to a training camp at least once in their life. It's just something you got to experience. There's selfie opportunities, autograph opportunities, but at the same time, you get to watch, players make plays and practice right in front of you, where it's like you're watching it from your backyard. So definitely proud supporter of the training camp.
So somebody's asking about our long snapper. Did you see him today?
Yeah, I saw the long snapper. Yeah, I saw him.
Bro,
was that a joke? Yeah, I saw him. He was slinging him back to the punter that I don't know his last name. But like I said, I guess I'll leave with that too, Eddie. So effortless, man, this guy. Bjorkquiz. He was pounding 70-yard punts, and it looked like the dude wasn't even trying. So I'm with you, Eddie. He's great, dude.
I was in awe. But yeah, the training camp does have everything. I will back what you said. I've only been to one. I hope to get to more.
I have extra tickets, Eddie. You just hit me up. Now they're Tuesday, Thursday, though. I couldn't get any weekends. But if you're available on a Tuesday or Thursday that last week, I want to say the August 20th week. I think I have the 22 and the 24th. Message me, man. I have extra tickets, so let me know.
If I will, but it was just so cool because there was a bunch of stuff. The dogs were a complete surprise to me. I had no idea that they did that every year, and I was like, oh,
yep,
God.
Every year.
And we looked at the dogs, and they had the big bobbleheads you can take pictures with, and I don't know if they had that this year or not, but I remember they had.
Yeah, they do every year.
Thomas, and I believe Odell Beckham was a bobblehead, or maybe someone. It was just an awesome experience. It's cool. It'd be cool if you have a family to take them to. If I had a family, it'd be cool. But it was cool for me as as an adult fan. Oh wow, because you don't see practice. If you've ever played football, you know what a football practice is. But you don't get to see the NFL players practice. We wait from Sunday to Sunday or Sunday to Thursday or Monday, whatever it is. We wait all this time to watch them play on Sundays. We don't know what they're actually doing at practice. So that's a cool aspect to see. Here's these drills they're in here. Here's the 2-minute drill they're running. Hey, we're only doing passes on this. We're only doing runs on this. This is designed for the defense. That's awesome to see. So I highly recommend if you can just get to one in your life, if you haven't already. And another thing, you hit something earlier that I was like, oh, maybe that's the case. So not everyone's been to a training camp. I think it's just because they sell out. Training camp is always packed. At least I'm sure it's around the league, but we see more so Browns. But it's always packed there. It is insane how many people go out just to watch practice for 2 or 3 hours or something.
Yeah, it ends up being about an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes total. I don't think there's ever been one that we were all like, oh, man. Maybe the Eric Mangini days, he was a nutbag, so he probably had us over there for like 2.5 hours, and we were losing anyway, so who cares? But yeah, most of these guys, most of them try to wrap it up before 2 hours.
And we've had a healthy camp so far. I mean, I know we've had a couple of players.
Knock on that wood, Jason.
I am. As you're saying that, I'm doing that right now. We've had a couple of dings and bangs, but the coaches are just saying that they're holding them out for, no sense in rushing back on a stupid injury. I saw somewhere that. And I'm interested, ColdTrain, if you heard anything. Mike Ford left practice early. Have you heard anything about him? And I heard that Greg Newsome left early without explanation. Is there anything to that, or are they both good?
I don't think there's any. Yeah, I don't think there's anything to it because I didn't hear anything on my end. But no, nobody was really talking about it. So I don't think too much to worry about significant. There.
We would have heard something. So, yeah, I mean, we've had a couple of players hold out. We've had players come back. Jakeem Grant came back to practice, which is good. We've had some linebackers come back. Taki is back. He's out there, doing hitting drills. So this is all good stuff. Part of training camp is you just want to get through it healthy, right? We've seen – who was it? The Denver Broncos receiver that tore his AC
Patrick.
It was his Achilles, I think.
Yep.
Who was it?
Tim Patrick. He's out for the year.
Yeah.
And the receiver KJ Hamler, they had to release him due to as soon as I said it, I knew I would do that. I think it's some sort of irregular heart condition of some sort, so they had to release him with a medical designation. So luckily we don't have that yet for us. So knock on wood again.
Yeah, and we've had our training camps, guys. I mean, you remember the Grant Delpit year. I think it was his second day of practice, man. All of a sudden, he's out for the year. And then there was another player. It was like the same day. I forget who his name escapes me right now. But we've had our training camp woes. So we just want to get through this healthy. But the Hall of Fame game, guys, I am totally pumped. My flight leaves for Cleveland tomorrow morning. Eddie and I were talking before he came on the show, like for the average fan, the Hall of Fame game or even preseason games is like they're not even excited about it. And I've been that guy. But for some of these players, that are further down the depth chart, they might have 2 or 3 games left in their whole career. Like Thursday night's game is everything for these players. So I'm excited on Thursday about the quarterbacks. Kellen Mond is starting, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I think he's going to start the first half.
I think DTR does the second half. That's what I think they're going to do.
I think that's right. That's it. We're going to see, running backs that are far down the list. I have the depth chart right in front of me. Obviously, we won't see Nick Chubb, Jerome Ford, Felton, but John Kelly Jr., maybe we'll see a little bit of him. It's going to be fun, to see this team, see the young guys, because there's going to be some young guys that are far down the depth chart that are going to climb their way up. I mean, we saw Schwartz and Stefanski say that, they're only a couple weeks into training camp. So they want to see this whole training camp play out, including preseason games, to see if there's a player that rises up and earns a spot on the 53-man roster, or at least the practice squad. And games like Thursday night, that's where we see it. So I am excited about that. I will tell you, I'm going to bring my depth chart with me to the game, so that way I can be better informed on who's making these plays. Because Eddie, I think you might have said it, man. There's players that we might have heard of, but we've never seen in game action. So that is exciting. And when's the last time we've been in a Hall of Fame game? Was it 1999? Was that the last year?
I don't even know, man.
I have no idea.
I think we played the Hall of Fame game against the Cowboys, if I'm not mistaken, the year we came back. But I'm not sure we've been in one of those since.
But Joe Thomas going in the Hall of Fame, that's more so what this game is for Browns fans this year. Because they took away the 4th preseason game, so this is 1 of 4. The Jets and them have one extra game, obviously. but it's to celebrate Joe Thomas, and that's going to be cool. I'm excited for you to be there. I'm excited for everyone else to be there, and for him to. I'll be wearing my Homage Joe Thomas shirt.
Yes.
But a player to watch, wide receiver and kick returner Jalen Darden. I just wrote about him for Dog Pound Daily. He's one of those guys that are going to scratch and claw for a roster spot. He was on Tampa Bay the past few years. Didn't get much targets and have success that way, but he is a good return guy. So maybe we'll see him in action there. But that's a guy I'm really looking forward to. And then
he was sidelined today at practice. I don't know. Did anybody talk about Jalen Darden, ColdTrain? Because he was on the sideline during.
It might have been a rest day. I didn't see anything about him either. I didn't really see too much of that today. But yeah, he's a player. And then what's the other one? Dalen Baldwin. He's another guy that is a receiver.
Baldwin, yeah.
And with Mon, I'm excited to see him get a little bit more action. We saw him last year a few times. I'm excited for DTR. Like that, I think he can be a special player in this league, and I think he has a similar enough skill set to back up Deshaun Watson. I mean, they're both probably going to back him up, maybe Dobbs too, because they can carry 3 now. But that's exciting to watch. So it's a Hall of Fame.
How many quarterbacks do you think that we're going to keep?
3. I think you can keep 3 on the roster. So they'll have 3 or 4, and the other one, whatever the odd man out of the 3 that's not Watson, I think they'll go to the practice squad.
Yeah, DTR, I think, will be on the practice squad.
You think he's not okay?
Yeah, I think so.
Because do you think that it's up for grabs between Mond and DTR?
I don't think so. I don't think you draft the core. I don't think you draft the QB like that if you don't think he's, But what Eddie just said, I say that to my wife all the time. I think DTR is literally a Watson prototype. I think they literally drafted that dude to because obviously, what is Dobbs on a 1 year? Is another 1 year?
Another 1 year.
It's not long.
1 year.
So 1 year. So it's a 1 year staple to get DTR acclimated to the offense. And literally, if Watson, knock on that wood, baby, if Watson were ever to go down, they just plug and play this dude. He's just going to ball out. But I will say this, Jason, I'm excited for you too, because honestly, man, I don't know about you guys, but be honest with you guys, talking about the Browns, this is the first preseason, even including the Hall of Fame game, I'm excited to watch because we're actually good at the starting positions. I don't want them to play. I don't need them to play. I don't care to see Myles Garrett. I don't want to see Myles Garrett. I don't want to see these guys get hurt. But I am excited to see those depth pieces, those 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th guys to where, hey, maybe 1 or 2 of them stud out. You know who's a star now, or they might be a star. That's what's going to be cool about this preseason is we get to see that depth that we believe we have, and hopefully we see it, in victories and just some good reps, in these games. But I'm excited, man, to see DTR the most, obviously, at quarterback. But I'm also excited to see those depth pieces because at the end of the day, guys, injuries happen all the time. And you might have a 3rd, 4th, 5th dude that you see in that Hall of Fame game go in, and at least from a few games of preseason in the Hall of Fame game that you watch and you got to see them play and see what they're made of. So this is probably the first preseason that I'll actually know a lot of names that are on that field versus past years where we needed starters before we even needed depth. We almost had starters play just because we needed to field the team. So I'm excited about this year, man. It's a very different feel to preseason this year, in my opinion, as a Browns fan, and it really well should be, man. So,
and watch the Jets team that they roll out there too, because AB is, a lot of times when you play a team in preseason, you might see some of those players come on, whether it be the practice squad or you have an injury like you're 3rd down the depth and you have an injury and you bring someone in that got cut by the Jets. You know what I'm saying? So just watch out for that too. Watch out for their players.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, I'm excited, man. You got to wish me luck. I'm flying in tomorrow morning, and my dad and I are going to catch an early dinner. And then this is where you got to wish me luck. Brian Music is going to host us in the flats tomorrow night. So that should be a sight to see.
You might as well just write a prescription for disaster, my friend. You're going to party with Brian Music, you say? Oh,
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Power to you, sir. Respect to you, sir. But good luck. That's all I'm gonna say, buddy. Have fun, my friend, because that dude, he's the star of the show. Let's just put it that way. And from what I understand, a little bits and pieces he was telling me, Jason, he's got a big night planned for you, my friend. So enjoy.
Well, his girlfriend gets off work at 11 o'clock, so all the damage would have to be done before that.
You showed me that text.
I'll just share that piece of information. Yeah.
I won't share your text on air, but he did show me the message that you wrote him after he said that, and it made me laugh. So I will say that.
Don't share that on air.
He'll trust me. Brian's the type of guy. Give another shot. He'll stay out to 5 of them. Trust me. Don't say the show's over until the show's over. That's all I'm going to say, man.
He's chiming in right now. He says, "No, we're going in all night." Oh gosh.
He's the type of guy, if he is trying to get like that, Jason, you say, come on, one more kamikaze. And the dude's like, all right, let's go out. We're good.
Yeah.
That's Brian for you, man.
So we'll be with Brian Music Wednesday night. And then somehow we got to get to Canton on Thursday. I imagine there'll be some tailgating and things like that. So that'll be fun on Thursday. And then Friday we'll be at the Guardians game.
Nice.
I think Mr. Music will be there as well, amongst others. Charles Shin will be there. Probably a couple guys from Network 216 hopefully will be there as well Friday night. And then Saturday is the big deal. The whole reason why we're going, Mr. Joe Thomas, the Cleveland great, is being inducted in the Hall of Fame. So we're going to go watch the enshrinement there on Saturday. So it's just going to be a great weekend. It's always great to return to Cleveland. It's what a fantastic city that Cleveland is. There's just so much stuff to do, and you if you're bored, it's your own fault. I mean, there's a lot of stuff to do, whether it be day or night. So we have an itinerary,
so many good food, man.
Oh, the food! Are you kidding me? We're going to the Red Steakhouse, Red the Steakhouse, early Wednesday. Get a little.
Will you promise me though? Will you try to get Mabel's Barbecue before you guys go? You got to go to Mabel's. That's Jeff Simon's barbecue restaurant. Oh, it's amazing.
I just like that whole little alley right there where Mabel's is and all the bars, and they got a bowling.
Every restaurant's good.
It's beautiful. Yeah. It's beautiful.
Every restaurant's good over there, man.
So yeah, we're staying right across from Progressive Field. So it's only a few blocks away from there. We'll definitely check out Mabel's while we're there. But yeah, let's go ahead and sign off. Eddie Mack, you're joining the Barking Brown Show, which is in just a couple minutes. Yeah, so if you want to check out Eddie Mack and the Petty Eddie podcast crew, he'll be with the Barking Browns. They come on in just a couple minutes. We have to end the show, guys. I got to go finish getting packed. It's been great. ColdTrain, thank you so much for sharing your training camp experience. Eddie, always a pleasure, man. Thanks for being a guest on the Yard Dawgs Pod.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you, guys, and happy birthday again, buddy.
Yes, 37.
37.
I wish I could be 37.
Yeah, breaking news, too, just in. It's no longer Network 216. It's Petty Eddie 216.
Yeah, there you go.
I knew that, but it just came in, dude. Breaking news. Petty Eddie's basically the whole network now. So get used to that man's face. He'll be on every show.
he pulled a Elon Musk on us and just bought the whole network.
I wish.
Exactly. There you go.
All right, guys. Well, as you know, I like to end all of our shows with a Go Browns. So Eddie Mack, ColdTrain, if you'll join me on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Go Browns.
Go Browns.
We will see you next week. Love you.